I'm Dean. I'm the dad.
I'm Laura. I'm the mom.
I'm Crystalline. I'm the daughter.
And together we are Family Plot.
Yeah, we've done better.
We have, but it's okay.
I have a dog attacking my face. I plead the fifth. Okay, he went away.
He's
I
going
was going to say, he was giving you the kisses.
Oh, the kisses!
Doggy kisses. No.
Dogs are not cognizant of when we're trying to record, and that makes it slightly difficult.
That's okay. So, do you guys remember what this week is all about?
Superpowers!
Yeah, real superpowers.
Yes!
I finally remembered.
Well, it's going to be an amazing episode. I did lots of research for it, and to be frank, I could have done a lot more. Really, what I did for this episode was just throw some things together and get a few examples, but man, if I dug, I could have gotten a whole lot more.
Well, given the fact that you're Dean and not Frank or Doug, I guess we'll just be happy with what we got.
Ow. Oh.
That probably hurt.
That's your superpower. Puns so bad they cause pain. Dang. Ow. All right. Let's deal with superhumans. Now, what we're dealing with is your typical comic book superhero types. And that means their powers really break down into three areas. Those that were born with their powers.
Okay.
Those that acquired their powers, and those who trained for their powers.
Right.
Okay.
For example, born with it, Wolverine.
Well, yes and no.
Or Superman.
Okay, that one I'll give you.
Acquired it, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And trained it, Batman.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? So those are your basics of your superhumans. And one of the explanations Marvel gives us is mutations, which is a great idea. However, mutations don't work the way Marvel want them to. According to Marvel, gives us mutants who have developed mutations that allow them to heal, or shoot energy blasts, or fly, or whatever. Although in one short-lived series, they did explore mutations that didn't go anywhere useful. But yeah, it was in a series called Beauty and the Beast, and it was Dazzler and the Beast teamed for a short limited series. But one of the characters they introduced in there was a mutant that could pick flowers and change the color of the flower that she picked.
Well, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really the only semi-realistic mutant Marvel has had. Because here's the thing, if mutation were that common, and we have to look at the roster of the XMen, and the roster of their villains, and the roster of X-Factor, and the roster of the various other mutant groups, organizations, and etc., there's a lot of mutants roaming around Marvel. A lot of them.
Okay, but see... I'm sorry, you're pulling out my geek here, and I gotta throw in my nerd card, because this is my wheelhouse. Because I love you very much, but the X-Men were my first love, and there's just no denying it. Anybody who's known me for a minute knows it's true. you're pointing out literally the superstars of this racial group. You're pointing out the Hulk Hogan's, the, Joe Montana's, the superstar pinch hitter, amazing people that are those members of those superhero or supervillain groups. Not every mutant was going to have those mutations. These are the ones that Marvel picked out to showcase. If that were an actual reality, you're still going to have those other minor mutations that may not even ever be something that would be noticed. They're just not going to be the mutants that are in those team-ups and stuff. So, I have to kind of say, you're maybe poo-pooing on it a little harder than you should. But like I said, that's probably neither here nor there. You're off on your own little tangent, and I just have to throw that in there because I know if there's any other Marvelites like myself listening to the podcast, they're going to be feeling this way. So I feel I got to stand up for Team Marvel.
Okay. All right. First of all, X-Men are among my favorites, so I'm not poo-pooing on the X-Men at all. What I am saying is mutation does not work like Marvel says it does. Marvel has developed a form of mutation that results in mostly positive mutations, and most of them have some sort of real-world application, if only in combat.
Okay. So I'm going to let you have that because otherwise we're going to get into a stalemate, but trust me, sir, we will continue this conversation at a later date.
And mutation simply does not work like that.
Okay.
Mutations are essentially an experiment by nature that often cause more problems than they
I should
solve.
have asked this earlier, but what's a mutation?
Okay, that's a great question.
Look, she's speaking up. I like that. Excellent. Good job. You're right, baby. What's a mutation? Daddy, do you have a definition?
I don't have a definition, but I have an explanation.
Okay, Crystalline, your job for this current time is to Google the definition for mutation so you can read it and learn it and love it.
Okay.
But a mutation is what happens when your genetics combine to give you something that most humans don't have. An extra finger. Sometimes it can be, there's a disease called polychoria that results in an extra pupil in the eye.
Ooh, I had never heard of that one. That's
I've heard that one.
But in general, mutations are usually an experiment by nature. And often the creatures that have them, it isn't a positive experience for them.
Yeah, no.
More often than not, mutations are negative, not positive, usually caused by factors in the environment that cause a problem with breeding. Like, if enough chemicals get in the rainwater, then you get frogs with like 2 arms or, multiple eyes or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, most mutations are negative.
Most, yeah, because won't it cause something to, like, whatever the part of the body is?
Right, it'll change it, yeah.
And it'll be harder for you to work with it.
Right. And as I say, most mutations cause more problems than they solve. Mutations are also very random, and when and if a mutation becomes a positive feature, then it becomes a stable alternative, and then it becomes a regular feature of the race that developed it.
Right.
So, for example, This is sheerly theoretical, but it really illustrates the way that mutation works. Let us say that there's a tree in front of your house.
Mm-hmm.
And every single day, you go out and you set that tree on fire. And then you put it out. And you do that every day. After 500 years of that, which you've got to figure out how to live 500 years, which would be a problem. But after 500 years of that, the tree might possibly develop a mutation to where it becomes fire resistant somehow. That's an example
to protect itself.
Right. Of a positive mutation. And if that tree survives, then the spores it sends off to become other trees might carry that characteristic. And thus you'd get fire-resistant trees.
Okay, makes sense. Like a family tradition. Hey, burn this tree, put it out every day. No,
I guess
stopping.
that. Sure, we could go with that's the possibility, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sure some scientists will tell me that it wouldn't work because of this, that, and the other, but it illustrates my point, and that's all I needed it to do.
Did you Google the definition like I told you
Yes,
to?
I did.
Okay. Go ahead, read it to us.
I just got that off my facts.
So, mutations don't work like Marvel or DC tells us they should.
Okay.
So, I think it's time to take a moment and hear some facts from my crystalline. Oh, wait.
Before we do that, mutation, the changing of structure, the changing of the structure of a gene resulting in a variant form that may be transmitted to subsequent generations.
Very good.
Caused by the alternation of single base units in DNA, or the deletion, insertion, or rearrangement of larger sections of genes in chromosomes.
Good job. Listen to you saying all those big words.
I'm so proud.
That's pretty impressive for an 11-year-old. You know, we're really going to have to watch that. It's not too far off. She's going to be turning 12.
I know.
We need to have a special podcast episode for Crystalline's 12th birthday.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do it before Heather gets here.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Heather? I'm excited.
Okay. So, Krysta, you ready for your facts?
Yeah. Today's facts are a little sad, people.
Oh, no, sad facts.
Why are they sad facts?
They're about how most circus animals are wrongly treated or abused.
Oh, no.
Or contained in spaces that they're not supposed to be contained in.
Oh, dear. Why'd you give us sad facts?
I'm sorry, it was last minute. I know I shouldn't have waited until the last minute, but that's just how I roll.
Okay.
Alright.
Krysta.
These are on Animal World Protection by Julie Capello? Something like that? Yeah. But all the credits go to her or what she found them from.
Okay.
Number 1, elephants are cruelly trained to perform tricks.
Shame on them. Poor elephants.
Yep.
It says, so, apparently in the family business, in the video they posted, Tim Frisco, he screams to his staff, apparently. He says, hurt him, don't touch him, make him scream. When you hear that screaming, you know